You're representing your football crazy nation at the venue to take the vote that will decide who's hosting the next World Cup. You're confidently walking into those hallowed hallways. A few hours later, a little unknown nation has won the hosting rights for the next World Cup. And you're confused. Did I really hear what I heard? Did I actually lose that bid? Are we, as a football crazy nation, unworthy of hosting rights? The gazillion questions remain unanswered as I head home a few days later. Is football a passionate game amongst its avid fans? FIFA, a body of old men in crisp suits organizing tournaments? Sportsmen looking forward to 90 minutes of exhilaration? Well, all this was in the past. The pre-1974 period when football was a sport played and organized by people with genuine interest in the game. FIFA Uncovered, a 4-part Netflix series, uncovers and unravels many deals and scenes behind closed doors. It's been years of deals to satisfy personal greed, and the world's governing body for football began its slide into a dismal abyss. The internal politics within FIFA made it a haven for self-interested individuals. Hosting bids were often granted to small, unknown nations with no strong football culture back home to keep it in check. Then how did these happen? It's been a series of allegations and fishy coincidences, with cash appearing in big envelopes when a big vote is being taken and disappearing out of sight, when in reality it should have been used for developmental projects. FIFA 2022, one of the most controversial bids won by Qatar, will go down in history. FIFA Uncovered has described the decision to give Qatar hosting rights as the biggest sports scandal of all time. Countries that seek hosting rights often seek validation in other avenues, such as legacy and job opportunities. Unfortunately, many times, the dollars and pounds that seal these deals are verbal and untraceable. A misconception amongst many that Muslim Arab nations are repressive and unsuited for mammoth world events left the world in shock when Qatar was selected as the host for FIFA 2022. It is not without its fair share of deals behind closed doors, investments in nations that supported its bid, and friendly alliances in murky waters. Untraceable, though, that Qatar is hosting FIFA 2022. On the night of the 20th of November, the Qatari nation hosting the FIFA World Cup was a victory for Muslims and Islam throughout the world. A country that has its borders closed by its own kind, other Arab nations. The Qataris have had it their way to witness the grand tournament in their own land. When Allah has willed something to occur, no amount of opposition or no amount of gathering of people can stop it. It goes to prove that man proposes and God disposes. The grand opening ceremony was Muslim and Islam friendly, portraying to the rest of the world that Muslims and Islam can exist side by side with others, disproving the wrong notions created by Islamophobic media outlets and nations. The recitation of verses from the Quran by Ghanim al-Muftah, a physically challenged Qatari boy spreading the beautiful message of Islam, took the world by storm. Western media outlets considered it sports washing of Qatar's Qatar human rights record. We wonder where these very same Western media outlets are when innocent Palestinians are pulled out of their homes while asleep, and their homes are forcibly taken away by Israeli soldiers. Where's the Western media when the Rohingyas are discriminated against and attacked by Buddhist extremists in Burma? Are the Western media unaware of the suffering of the Uyghurs in China? And are the American and British governments free of fault? Aren't their hands stained? Invading Iraq, invading Afghanistan? The list goes on. It's good to stop and rethink before you, Western media, portray your one-sided judgmental opinions. Qatar has vowed to not compromise on its strong Islamic Sharia guidelines. Why should we be who we are not? A couple of renowned artists, like Shakira and Dua Lipa, pulled out of the opening ceremony calling out on the Qatari nation for its human rights violations and its firm stance against the LGBTQ communities. Did their withdrawal affect the opening ceremony? No. It's only made clear the double standards that the West operates on, using their superpower status to bully and oppress other nations they consider inferior to themselves. For Muslim soccer fans, FIFA 2022 has been nothing short of a comforting experience. If a Muslim nation had not made accommodations for its own people and its religion, is it even worth it? As the first Jum'ah of the FIFA drew near, muaddins across the state called out the adhan for the special Friday prayer Muslims across the globe rushed to. Matches paused because the Qatari nation was showing the world deen over dunya. The congregation was an emotional connection to the religion of Islam, with people from India to Tunisia to Saudi standing side by side with no difference of border or color or status to worship the one Lord they all believe in. Little kids in their fan jerseys and FIFA officials in uniform made up the congregation too. Just a few days before the start of the tournament, the Qatari government announced that no beer would be allowed at the 8 stadiums hosting the games. For Muslim fans, it was a welcome move considering they wouldn't have to face the unwarranted behavior of drunk, emotional soccer fans. The Qatari government has gone on an all-out public preaching of Islam by posting the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, on the streets. These hadith convey the peaceful nature of Islam and showcase to fans that Islam upholds kindness, mercy, sharing, and tolerance. Every stadium has designated prayer areas, which to the delight of Muslim fans, as many of them heaved a sigh of relief that they wouldn't have to be gone for long and miss crucial moments in a match. The Culture Village Masjid has many multilingual preachers, both male and female, to educate fans, players, and general visitors to Qatar during the FIFA to learn more about Islam. Booklets are distributed to those who want to learn more, while electronic boards with Islamic messages can be viewed by people on their phones using the QR code system. This amount of effort to promote Islam is highly commendable. It clearly shows Qatar is not willing to bow down to their secular Western counterparts. LGBTQ is haram, and it's something Muslims are all aware of. The Qatari government has insisted that all people are welcome to Qatar for the FIFA, despite their personal orientation, but insisted that public displays of affection are frowned upon by the religiously conservative society. And LGBTQ is no exception. It is a known fact that homosexuality is a criminalized offense in Qatar and is punishable by a prison sentence, and even capital punishment is possible. Whatever the shady deals the Western world wants to portray about Qatar's questionable World Cup hosting bid, the Qatar government has used the opportunity to the maximum to benefit Islam. We hope other Islamic nations follow suit when they do get opportunities too. Eventually, we believe Allah is watching over everything we do, and the means to spread Islam is highly commendable and inspiring. Deen over dunya. Is that your goal too?